Good morning, Mark. Thanks for coming on. We're
Yeah.
back. We're
Good
back.
morning, guys.
Back in the hunt. I'm excited.
Yeah, back in the hunt. One day you're in the hunt, the next day you're out of the hunt. So it's they played very well, much better than they had played the previous 3 weeks, and more akin to what they had played previously in the year. And the defense was really good, and Kansas City had a tough time staying on the field on third down. I mean, I think they converted 2 out of 12 or something in the game, and Alex Smith was not sharp, in part because the defense was good. The Bills' running game, I thought, got on track a little bit, and Tyrod was Tyrod. I mean, he threw some balls into some tight windows, but he moved the offense, and he didn't create any problems for the offense, and things went pretty well against a team that plays really well in their own building.
So we have not talked since Sean McDermott made the decision to bench Tyrod Taylor, and then, of course, he found his way back into the game after halftime in a disaster. I'd love your opinion on that. And then if the Bills go on and continue to play as they did, and Tyrod Taylor continues to play as he did, like he did on Sunday, does the smart guy in the room end up being Sean McDermott? Did he ultimately inspire Tyrod Taylor? What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I don't really want to read into the psychology of the entire thing. I mean, I think there's some genuineness on Coach McDermott's part to say we want to do something to move the offense forward. The offense had not been overly productive in those the previous 2 weeks before they inserted Peterman in the game for the Chargers game, and you say, well, okay, if we're going to change the offense, what do we need to change? Well, I can think of a few things, but the linchpin of that operation is the quarterback. So you say, well, if we change the quarterback, and Peterman has demonstrated some ability to be a quick decision maker, and he throws an accurate football, and albeit it was limited playing experience, and against guys that at the end of a roster, or probably not even on a roster in the preseason, and then against the New Orleans Saints, who were just, those guys were just trying not to look bad. So you say, okay, let's make that change, because we need more definitive decision making for our quarterback. And again, I'm not sure that was the right thing or the wrong thing, but at least they decided to do something to try to encourage more productivity from the offense. You can't blame him for doing that. I don't think he made a decision in a vacuum. I think he enlisted the healthy opinions from his coaching staff, and don't know ultimately if he made a final decision or it was a consensus. Don't know that, but in any respect, I mean, he made a decision. It went really awry, and I think it's a quality of a really good leader when you can put things back when you realize they didn't go as planned. And
well, that's interesting.
Let's go back and see what happens. They did, and
that's an interesting point, because I don't want, without naming any other coaches, but sometimes there's a lot of pride there, and you had to suck up your pride and put that aside and make the decision that you felt was best for the team, not best for you, and because I could only imagine that keeping Tyrod Taylor on the bench the next week. Otherwise, you bring Tyrod Taylor back in, you're admitting maybe you were wrong. I think that was a big move by McDermott to bring him back in. Do you agree with that?
No, I agree. I mean, it was the right decision. I mean, you're certainly not going to put Peterman back in the game, and for his development, because he seems like he made development into a good player here one day when he has an opportunity to gain some experience at the quarterback position here at the NFL level. But I mean, I think it was saying, look, we're willing to try things. I mean, if you don't allow your leadership to try things to try to encourage better production on either side of the ball, then they're never going to make a decision. He made a decision. The decision did not go according to plan, or like they would have anticipated. So they rectified things and put Tyrod back and said, well, maybe there's other things that we need to change, and the quarterback isn't the situation. And again, this week I thought the offense played well. They had some productivity. They were good on third down, keeping drives alive, and Tyrod was pretty decisive. Threw some balls that got deflected away. A couple of balls got away from him, but all in all, he was pretty productive, and the offense had a productive day in the running game as well. So again, if everybody's going to criticize the staff for making that decision, then they're going to be. I mean, people are going to be afraid to make decisions, and not because of that, but you can't be afraid to make a decision for fear of what might happen. And let's see what happens. And if it doesn't go well, then like I said, it's the quality of the good leadership to say, let's put it back the way it was and let's tweak something else. And I think DeMarco was in the game when the running game was really healthy, and I think that's a really profitable offensive formation for those guys, particularly in the running game when he's in there providing the lead block.
The other thing is the defense really came to play this weekend. That is the big change, really the big change for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, it came to play and kind of fell into the template that they had established early in the season when they were making teams drive the length of the field and trying to keep them off the field on third downs. And they did some things a little bit differently. I mean, they have some tremendous offensive weapons, the Chiefs do, and you got to be able to take those weapons away. And Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce and Hunt has been fantastic here in his rookie season as well. And you got to say, well, how are we going to take those guys away? And one of the ways they did it is filling up the passing lanes. I mean, they rushed 3 people an awful number of times on Sunday afternoon and filled up passing lanes. And then sometimes they brought a delayed blitz. Sometimes they blitzed an overload side and stepped out defenders on the other side. So I think they created some confusion for that Kansas City offense, and they never found their rhythm all afternoon. And Bills did a really good job. A couple times at the line, Tre'Davious White was great. Keeping those receivers on the line of scrimmage and not allowing Alex Smith to have an opportunity to find an open guy. So as a defensive unit, I mean, they really played just significantly better than they had the previous 3 weeks.
All right, I say the Bills are in the hunt, but it's not going to be a pleasant hunt. Two of the next, you've got the Patriots twice, for God's sakes, and this weekend. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, there's a couple things. One is I don't think you can look at the Patriots game and say, well, the Bills can't win those games, and you can't look at the other games against the Dolphins and then the game against the Colts and say they're going to win those games. I mean, it just doesn't work that way in the NFL. If you start looking ahead or looking behind, you're not going to have success in the immediate situation in the present. And look, can they beat the Patriots? Absolutely. Is it going to take an outstanding effort, and is it going to take eliminating mistakes, not having any mistakes offensively, and be able to force the Patriots into mistakes? Yeah, absolutely. It's going to take those things as well. So, I mean, certainly one of the best teams in the AFC, if not the best. They're going to have to be on top of their game if they want to win either of those games if they play against the Patriots. But the schedule looks favorable. If they play it to their level of ability that they've demonstrated, like they did last week against the Chiefs and like they did when they started the season 5-2, I think they're more than capable of winning all of those games. Will they win all of them? No, probably not.
Yeah.
But can they win enough to get themselves to 9-7 and stay in the playoff hunt? I mean, I think if they play to their level of capability and the running game is successful, I think that there's every reason to suspect that they could win 3 of these last 5 games.
All right. Well, listen, I think Brady's just cut some deal with the devil or something. This guy just continues. It's just so sickening. I can't stand even.
I think his name is Belichick.
Use his name.
He cut it. What did you say? He cut a deal with who?
The devil. I think he's cut a deal with Satan. Something's going on here. This just, it's not human.
He could have cut a deal on the other side of it.
Okay.
Deal with
all right.
The other side of it, too. I mean, he doesn't do anything egregious. He doesn't.
Good point.
He doesn't make any frivolous comments. He's not an arrogant guy. So he's actually kind of a good model for what a representative of the NFL needs to be, and he's a heck of a player. But he's got a host of teammates around him that really do a great job. And I mean, they have great personnel mismatches. They got quick guys that they try to get on linebackers, and then they got size with Gronkowski, and then they got speed. So they have everything clicking offensively, no question about that. It'll be a tall task, but one that hopefully the Bills can find a way to overcome.
Well, listen, here we are going into December, and we're still talking. The playoff hunt is still alive, so I'm happy with that. I got to tell you that. As always, Mark, we appreciate talking with you, and hopefully we'll continue talking positively. Big game this weekend.
Let's hope so. Let's hope it goes well this weekend.
All right,
Mark. Have a good day, guys.
Thanks so much. We appreciate it. Mark Kelso, Buffalo Bills. Yep. Break and back.